Okay, now this not-so-smart side. What's the narcissism level, 1 to 5? Give me some numbers. We'll get some numbers. Okay, Marcin, it's coming out to 3.71.
Okay, let's do some stats. It's P equals 0.04.
And that is statistically significant.
See, I told you that telling people they are smart increases their narcissism.
In conclusion, if you're special and you know it, clap your hands. If you're special and you know it, clap your hands. If you're special and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're special and you know it, clap your hands.
The Nutrition Prize. The winners are from Nigeria, Togo, Italy, and France. The Ig Nobel Nutrition Prize is awarded to Danielle Dendi, Gabriel Senyabeto, Roger Meek, and Luca Luiselli for studying the extent to which a certain kind of lizard chooses to eat certain kinds of pizza. The winners could not travel to the USA. Their acceptance speech will be read on their behalf by Nobel laureate Esther Duflo.
This is the acceptance speech for the 2025 Ig Nobel Nutrition Prize. It was written by one of the co-winners, Luca Luiselli. I'm delivering the speech on his behalf as well as on the behalf of the French person, which I can. Dear organizers, dear all, thank you so much. I am deeply honored and slightly confused to receive the Ig Nobel Prize. When we began studying urban agamas snacking on discarded pizza in seaside resorts in Togo, we never dreamed it would lead to international recognition. Of course, as every good Italian, I knew that 4 cheese pizza is irresistible. But honestly, our lizards did really well. Better than any Italian lizard. My colleagues, Professor Gabriele Senyabeto and Dr. Roger Meek and Danielle Dendi, and I, simply wanted to answer the age-old scientific question. What happens when a lizard discovers cheese and carbs? Now,
Just found this unbelievable sequin dress on eBay from a seller who's probably a Vegas showgirl. Then I was craving something sporty, found these in a sick cherry red, authenticated and everything. Thanks, Ken. Yeah, eBay. It's the place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion.
Thank you for subscribing to Fuel Plan.
Tired of the same old, same old? With the new Dish by Blue Apron, you get pre-made meals with at least 20 grams of protein. No artificial flavors or colors. Keep the flavor. Ditch the subscription. Blue Apron.
Gastroenterology. Gastroenterology is a difficult profession, distressingly difficult. Every gastroenterologist has to deal with unpleasant facts. For some of the most serious gastroenterological ailments, doctors can work wonders. But for many of the distressing sensations that patients feel in their throats, bellies, and beyond, there's just not much a gastroenterologist can do to make the symptoms stay away. And you know, maybe some of those symptoms are the price we pay for loving our favorite foods, like, say, pepperoni pizza, chili dogs, haggis pies, and garlic balls. Yum. We'll now hear some real gastroenterologists, as played here today by real opera singers, tell us all about the plight of the gastroenterologist.
Yes, indigestion is difficult to treat. Symptoms I often meet often get worse when the person makes them worsen because of what they eat. When you stuff chocolate in your mouth, that can be delightful. After it leaves your mouth, that's when things go south. Mucus and misery, gurgling and gagging. What started as a chocolatey joy starts to annoy. Down, descending, down the chocolate goes. Thus an Aesop stomach acid gets into the stew. Some stomach enzymes too help make it brew. Some stomach muscles do what muscles do, yes, and those muscles make the mess coalesce.
Digestion is difficult to treat. Symptoms I often meet often get worse when a person makes them worsen because of what they eat. When you eat a pepperoni pizza, maybe with some garlic, after you wolf it down, what you done completes a prelude to misery, cramping and heartburn, bloat, also belching flatulence galore, and maybe more in the intestines. Hey, it's party time. Gases build up, guts get filled up, and there's lots of slime. Bore, me noise, you lose your stools. You lose your stools, and you lose your poise. Yeah, when the party starts, it's party time. The pressure inside of you is quite a load. And then at last, you find relief. I could say more, but I will keep it brief. Most indigestion, there's no good way to treat. Each person whom I meet has some unique malady they must tell me, but oh, I am stuck. Curing most digestive ailments really is just luck.
The Pediatrics Prize. The winners are from the USA. The Ig Nobel Pediatrics Prize is awarded to Julie Manella and Gary Beecham for studying what a nursing baby experiences when the baby's mother eats garlic.
Thank you for celebrating our work that when mothers eat flavors of milk, and we later went on to show also amniotic fluid. At the time, mothers were advised to eat a bland diet for fear the baby would reject her milk. On the contrary, infants savored the flavor of garlic and other flavors in which she ate. In other words, don't dismiss mothers and don't dismiss garlic. Gary?
So when I started my research career, I got a call from NSF where I had a grant and told me he had some bad news for me. I had just been a finalist in something called the Golden Fleece Awards. Some of you may know what those are. They're nothing you want to be because they're for the stupidest, dumbest, biggest waste of money for the government for science. And I said, well, why did I get it? And he said, well, your title in your grant was about guinea pigs, sex, and smell. And that was sufficient. So luckily, I didn't get the final award, thank goodness. But this is sort of the culmination of that, where I've given up on the sex and the guinea pigs, but stuck with the smell. And it is really smelly.
Please stop on board. Please stop on board. Please stop on board.
Thank
Please
you.
Stop.
The winners have brought a special gift for each of the Nobel laureates, personally selected heads of garlic. To the Nobel laureates, please. Well, we expected small heads of garlic. It's a good year for that kind of thing, apparently. The Biology Prize. The winners are from Japan. The Ig Nobel Biology Prize is awarded to Tomoki Kojima, Kazuto Oishi, Yasushi Matsubara, Yuki Uchiyama, Yoshihiko Fukushima, Naoto Aoki, Sei Sato, Tatsuaki Masuda, Junichi Ueda, Hiroyuki Hiroka, and Katsutoshi Kino for their experiments to learn whether cows painted with zebra-like striping can avoid being bitten by flies.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are deeply honored to receive this award, and we are grateful to our colleagues, friends, and families, and we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the organizers and the esteemed panel of judges. This award serves as a motivation for us to continue striving for excellence and contribute positively to our our stuff irritating me. Excuse me. Okay, we demonstrated that, stripes discourage biting flies from landing using cow-painted zebra-like stripes like this. Thank you very much.
The Chemistry Prize. The Ig Nobel Chemistry Prize is awarded to Rotem Naftalovich, Daniel Naftalovich, and Frank Greenway for experiments to test whether eating Teflon, a form of plastic more formally called polytetrafluoroethylene, is a good way to increase food volume and hence satiety without increasing calorie content. The winners could not travel to the ceremony. Their acceptance speech will be read on their behalf by Nobel laureate Mungi Bawendi.
This is the acceptance speech for the 2025 Ig Nobel Chemistry Prize. It was written by co-winner Rotem Naftalovich. I am delivering this speech on his behalf. Esteemed colleagues, confused relatives, and curious bystanders, thank you. I am deeply honored to receive the Ig Nobel Prize for research that makes people laugh, that makes them think, and occasionally makes them question my judgment. Science is a journey paved with strange questions and sometimes stranger answers. May we never run out of either. Thank you.
It's time for more 24/7 lectures. This 24/7 lecture will be delivered by Deborah Anderson, Professor of Obstetrics, Gynecology and Virology, Immunology and Microbiology at Boston University's Chobanian and Avedisian School of Medicine, and co-winner of the 2008 Ig Nobel Chemistry Prize. She won that prize for discovering that Coca-Cola is an effective spermicide under some conditions. The topic, cola. First, a complete technical description of the subject in 24 seconds. On your mark, get set, go.
When Coca-Cola was invented in 1888, it contained a potent mix of cocaine and caffeine and was marketed as a medicinal syrup for the treatment of morphine addiction and an array of neurologic and digestive disorders. The cocaine was removed in 1906 and carbonated water was added, transforming it into the iconic drink we know today. Over 1.8 billion drinks are sold each day on Earth.
And now a clear summary that anyone can understand in 7 words. On your mark, get set, go.
Coca-Cola, refreshing spritzer or mysterious elixir?
This next 24/7 lecture will be delivered by Gus Rankatori, proprietor of Toscanini's Ice Cream Shop. The topic, ice cream. First, a complete technical description of the subject in 24 seconds. On your mark, get set, go.
Yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yummy, yummy, yum. 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 Yum, yum, yum.
And now a clear summary that anyone can understand in 7 words. On your mark, get set, go.
Yum. Yum, yum, yum. Yum.
And thanks to Gus, the minor domos are now going to serve ice cream to the Nobel laureates. It's time for Act 2 of our mini-opera, The Plight of the Gastroenterologist. Here's our narrator, Karen Hopkin.
Thank you, Sweet Cheeks. Inevitably, gastroenterology involves philosophy. One of the gastroenterologists is troubled by the question of whether people should or should not eat meat. Let's watch the good doctor try to reason this out. Oh, I got to mention something about words. There are special words, technical words, that identify a person or other kind of animal according to what kind of foods they do eat or do not eat. A carnivore eats meat. An herbivore eats vegetables, but does not eat meat. An omnivore eats, well, anything except itself, and so on. This song you're going to hear is about a different kind of vor.
To eat, we've got to feed our gut. But what to eat, oh what to eat, that should be very simple, but now I've thought a lot. My thought is now filled with dread, and now my mood about my food leads me to say what's seldom said. My food is dead. It's always dead, and so therefore, oh yes, therefore, I am a necrovore. Oh, and so are you. Yeah, all the food that you chew, on which you thrive, it's not alive. Yes, you are necrovoric too. The food we eat, that food is dead. It's like I said, that food is dead. Each time we dine, we are so necrovoric. Then, after we die, we will become tasty treats for all those worms and all those germs. The remnants make delicious eats. Worm germy stools as molecules are part of vegetables. Each leafy green you've ever seen, we all eat bellyfuls. Oh, what a hoot! Reconstituted people live in our food, so vegan dreams aren't what they seem. Sorry if what I said seems rude.
The technology blew me away. The 3D foot scan, the treadmill, and they even molded me custom insoles. And just like that, no more back pain and no more arch pain. And now I'm back, keeping up with the kids, doing what I love best, pain-free.
We have crazy deals at Nissan of South Morrow. Get the 2025 Nissan Rogue for 0% APR for 60 months plus $1,750 select bonus cash, or get it for just $319 a month on lease. Visit us today before you miss out.
Pabo and Robert Merton.
This is the acceptance speech for the 2027 Ig Nobel Peace Prize. I'm delivering this speech on their behalf, as you understand. We made an important discovery. Drunken Germans usually pronounce Dutch better than sober Germans. And it's not just that the drinkers thought their Dutch was better. Independent raters judged their pronunciation as clearer. Like many great scientific ideas, the idea of this study actually came up at an international conference in the evening at a bar. It started with colleagues from different countries speaking different languages and sometimes joking. I swear I speak better Dutch after a glass of wine. Rather than leaving it at that, we decided to test it properly.
What we found was fascinating. A low dose of alcohol, less than a pint of beer, did make people think they spoke Dutch better. But independent raters actually judged their pronunciation to be clearer. In short, a small sip seemed to boost confidence without making the words fall apart. Now, before anyone rushes to claim language lessons as tax-deductible bar bills, let us stress, we do not recommend alcohol as a tool to learn a new language. At higher doses, it seriously impairs memory, attention, and behavior. The very skills you need to learn a language, and frankly, to function in everyday life. So thank you again for this recognition. We take the science seriously, even if we started with a laugh over a drink. We want to thank our co-authors, Inge Kersbergen and Matt Field, as well as everyone who supported this research, most of all the students who were involved in the study and data collection. Thank you.
It's time for Act 3 of our mini-opera, The Plight of the Gastroenterologist. This next song is a tribute of sorts to a research study that in the year 2013 earned an Ig Nobel Prize for two scientists, Peter Stahl and Brian Crandall. That research study has the title Human Digestive Effects on a Micromammalian Skeleton. It's about a small animal called a shrew, and what happens to the bones of that shrew when those bones take a journey through the human digestive system. Here is our opera narrator, Karen Hopkin.
Thank you, Bonbon. One of our gastroenterologists is determined to learn what happens to some of the things you swallow. Here's a specific question. What happens when you swallow some bones? Can the bones, make it all the way through the entire journey? Will those bones survive all the way to emerge into the great outdoors? The only way to find out is by experiment. Okay, Doc, you do your experiment. The rest of us, we'll just sit here and rest our bones. But you go ahead. Bon appetit.
How many bones survive when they get swallowed? My best guess is 25, but it's a mystery. Maybe just the big bones do. They get digested to some degree. I'm gonna test it, no guesswork, let's really see. To solve the mystery, watch me swallow a shrew. Could eat a dormouse, could snarf a bat, could gulp a gopher, could swallow a juicy rat. To solve the mystery, watch me swallow a shrew. I plan to cook it, I plan to cook it, I plan to cook it. Of a gentle parboil so I can tease it apart. To solve the mystery, watch me swallow a shrew. But no chewing, nothing doing, will not crunch it, mustn't munch it. My teeth will never touch the bones, I promise. It could be bitter, it could be sweet, it could be fragrant. It's got fur and it's got 4 feet. To solve the mystery, watch me swallow a shrew. Indigestion is a question. What will I do if that whole shrew gets stuck in my digestive tract? Who knows? How much dissolving will these bones show? I'll be resolving that mystery I want to know. To solve the mystery, watch me shit out a shrew. You know, everything I am today, the inspiration for my bold scientific experimentation, it really all comes down to one person. It's my mother. Yeah, she's here tonight. I'd love for you to have the opportunity to meet her. Mom, come out here and take a bow. Oh, Mom. It's great to have you here. Okay. There was an old lady swallowed a shrew, and after that, well, she knew just what to do. It was her history, saw my mother shit out a shrew. What? Thanks, Mom.
The Engineering Design Prize. The winners are from India. The Ig Nobel Engineering Design Prize is awarded to Vikash Kumar and Sarthak Mittal for analyzing from an engineering design perspective how foul-smelling shoes affect the good experience of using a shoe rack. The winners could not travel to the United States, and so we've arranged that their acceptance speech will be read on their behalf by Nobel laureates Eric Maskin and William Kalin.
So this is the acceptance speech for the 2025 Ig Nobel Engineering Design Prize. It was written by co-winner Vikash Kumar, and I am delivering this speech on behalf of Vikash Kumar. Namaste. It took a few emails from Mark and even a video call to convince us that it was not a prank. So thank you, Mark, the review members, and Susan Canny, who thoughtfully ordered lavender sachets for our shoe rack We'll collect them when we meet you. Beyond the fun and laughter tonight, let us briefly paint a picture to show the seriousness of the problem. Imagine you're on a plane or a bus and your fellow passenger decides to get a little more comfortable by removing their shoes. If they're smelly, a part of you experiences hell. No perfume can mask it. Sometimes it makes a worse cocktail. This project began as a student assignment by my co-author, Sarthak, who noticed shoes kept outside hostel rooms. At first, we thought it was simply due to a lack of shoe racks, but soon we discovered the real reason, the smell. One student even joked, either the shoe stays in the room or we do.
The funniest part? Testing the smell levels. Sensors failed us, so we recruited brave human noses. Special thanks to Karanveer and Sanjoy for lending them to science. By now, I suspect that the bananas are growing restless, so let us conclude. This journey taught us two things. Design doesn't always start glamorous. It often begins with noticing the ordinary and refusing to ignore it. And solving real problems takes more than disciplinary knowledge, from engineering to design to life sciences. Thank you for celebrating our work. We hope it made you laugh first and then think. Have a wonderful evening. Namaste.
The winners have arranged a special gift for each of the Nobel laureates. A fragrant shoe. And our opera cast has prepared a special brief song tribute to the winners. Cast? Singers? Get your shoes on.
When I get hungry, here's what I do. I take my shoes off, and after I think it through, I've got a craving for something new. I need some soul food. Yeah. Good solid stuff. What? Nothing too fancy, just something that's good enough. I have my craving. I am gonna swallow my shoe. But if that shoe stinks, woo! If that shoe stinks, woo! P-U, P-U, woo! Then I will never eat that shoe. Woo! No way.
Hello again. I am still your air paper deluge announcer. The second paper airplane toss is about to commence. Please prepare your paper airplanes, but remember, safety first. Throw your paper airplanes at the designated target only. Prepare your planes for launch, and please join me in the countdown. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Paper
The Aviation Prize. I'll start over. The Aviation Prize. The winners are from Colombia, Israel, Argentina, Germany, the UK, Italy, the USA, Portugal, and Spain. The Ig Nobel Aviation Prize is awarded to Francisco Sanchez, Mariana Melcon, Carmi Corinne, and Barry Pinchot for studying whether ingesting alcohol can impair bats' ability to fly and also their ability to echolocate.
Okay, this is a big honor. Thank you very much. Research was about making some parties for bats, and we had to provide them some ethanol. The problem is that the bats didn't like it. Thanks very much for those people who thought our research was enlightening and mildly ridiculous. And of course, to our families that have been supporting these nocturnal obsessions. Robert Dudley inspired most of the research we did at that moment, and Bert Kotler helped us with some foraging theory. And of course, Unillanos helped me getting here, so that's a bit important. And what's that? Oh, crap. Okay, Mr. Bat, are you okay? Well, yes, I think I am. You look a bit strange. You are flying kind of funny and you're speaking kind of gibberish. Really? Yeah, you look nervous too. But what happened to you? What were you doing? Well, I was eating just some interesting figs, so... Well, Mr. Bat, it's good I found you, because if we were found by some of those owls that are over there, you would be part of the predatory channel. Oh.
Please stop! I'm bored!
That man is
Please
scary.
Stop!
Thank you. Bye-bye.
The Physics Prize. The winners are from Italy, Spain, Germany, and Austria. The Ig Nobel Physics Prize is awarded to Giacomo Bartolucci, Daniel Maria Busiello, Matteo Ciarci, Alberto Cotticelli, Ivan de Terlizzi, Fabrizio Omeda, David Ravignas, and Vincenzo Maria Cimenti for discoveries about the physics of pasta sauce, especially the phase transition that can lead to clumping, which can be a cause of unpleasantness.
We know you all might think that this work confirms all the stereotypes about Italians, like that we only think about food. But this is not true. In this work, we studied the phase behavior of protein mixtures. But first, let me say a few words. Ciao mamma! Ciao Anna! Ça va? A perfect ketchup paper is characterized by a silky and creamy sauce that makes this dish delicious and iconic. However, achieving that perfect sauce is challenging. At high temperatures, cheese proteins aggregate, form clumps, and end up in a big, giant, unpleasant clump, the mozzarella phase. I think we discovered the only case in which Italian mozzarella is a bad thing. However, there's a way to avoid it, adding starch to the sauce. Studying protein aggregates is believed to be very important in several fields. origin of life, the formation of amyloid fibers in Alzheimer. Today is also very important to create a perfect catcher paper.
Sta in fronte a te, sta in fronte a te.
The winners have prepared special gifts for the Nobel laureates. These gifts are lovingly cooked bowls of pasta and sauce prepared by Boston University professor Corky White.
Ciao mamma!
All right. This year, the Ig Nobel Prize ceremony has a companion event that will happen in the MIT Museum on Saturday. Most of the new winners who are here will be there. They will ask each other questions about their work. We call this companion event Ig Nobel Face to Face. It'll happen on Saturday afternoon, September 20th, 2025, at the MIT Museum. Please join us there. And later in the year, on Halloween night in London, England, at the Royal Institution, there will be another Ig Nobel face-to-face event. And in November, there'll be a face-to-face event in Berlin, Germany. And in January, there'll be a face-to-face event in Tokyo, Japan, in the Mirai-Kan Science Museum. The organizer and host of the Tokyo event is here with us tonight. Here he is, Kiyoshi Furusawa. Take a bow, Kiyoshi.
Is your growth strategy a big deal? We helped facilitate the merger and integration of two energy companies to fuel a more reliable and affordable delivery model. Solutions that work in practice, not just on paper.
Wow! You finally replied to a text message from 3 weeks ago. You deserve the sweet and tangy reward of a new prickly pear raspberry Whataburger from Whataburger. Thumbs up emoji.
An icicle treat for every small feat. What a burger!
Our gut-weary gastroenterologists have all decided to retire. Let's join them now at their retirement party. A parade of grateful patients is coming to celebrate the doctor's retirement. Each patient is bringing a gift for the doctors, a gift of heart-burningly yummy food. Chow down, everybody, and let's see how much you can bear to swallow.
Always be polite. I have to
first grateful patient has brought a gift to me, a pizza with pepperoni.
Well, my second grateful patient has brought a gift to me, 2 chili dogs and a pizza with pepperoni.
Well, my third grateful patient has brought a gift to me, 3 haggis pies, 2 chili dogs, and a pizza with pepperoni.
Well, my fourth grateful patient has brought a gift to me, 4 garlic balls, 3 haggis pies, 2 chili dogs, and a pizza with pepperoni.
The opera performers, pianist Ivan Gusev, cellist Dr. Julie Ryman, cardio accordionist Dr. Thomas Michel, gastroenterologist singer and our opera director Maria Ferrante, gastroenterologist singer Dr. Abby Schiff, gastroenterologist singer Pooja Uzgankar, gastroenterologist singer Ted Sharp, and everyone's favorite mother, Louise Sacco Riley. We ask all the winners, all the Nobel laureates, the 24/7 lecturers, and the other ceremony participants to gather here now on stage for a pointless photo opportunity. Please line up here. Get your smartphones out again. Domos, if you could help with this.
What does feel a lot more finished is the Opera browser. Like, it has a music player built into the sidebar, and it is perfect. Because it means you're not fumbling around in your tabs like, where the hell is this music playing from? Link below to download the Opera.
Ig Nobel goodbye speech. If he can find a way to get over here. Good.
Bye. Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us at the 35th First Annual Ig Nobel Prize Ceremony. We estimate that next year's ceremony will be the 36th First Annual Ig Nobel Prize Ceremony. In the coming days and weeks, join us, if you can, at the Ig Nobel face-to-face events in Cambridge, Massachusetts, London, Berlin, and Tokyo. And there may also be one in Paris. Now, on behalf of Improbable Research, and on behalf of the Boston University College of Communication, please remember this final thought. If you didn't win an Ig Nobel Prize this year, and especially if you did, better luck next year. Thank you.
Mr. President, it's a pleasure to welcome you to Chequers. This historic second state visit is a moment to celebrate the unique bond between our two countries. But today we've gone far beyond that. We've renewed the special relationship for a new era. The United Kingdom and the United States stand together today as first partners on defence, first partners in trade, with the groundbreaking deal we struck in May, and now with the new agreement that we've just signed this afternoon. We're confirming our status as the first partners in science and technology, ready to define this century together, just as we did the last. This tech partnership has the power to change lives. It's our chance to ensure that technologies like AI, quantum, and others amplify human potential, solve problems, cure diseases, make us richer and freer, strengthen the cause of democracy, not tyranny. This is the territory on which the future will be won. So this partnership today is a signal of our determination to win this race together and to ensure it brings real benefits in jobs, in growth, in lower bills, to put more hard-earned cash in people's pockets at the end of each month. That's what we're determined to deliver. And we're bringing businesses with us. We've just come from a fantastic meeting with business leaders where we set out this vision. They have responded with new deals and investment, breaking every record that we have. £250 billion flowing both ways across the Atlantic. That is a record. Expected to create 15,000 jobs here in the United Kingdom. High-skilled jobs in cutting-edge sectors where people can build careers for the long term, changing lives in communities up and down our country. And look, while we shape this bond for a new era, the fundamentals have not changed. Security remains the cornerstone of this special relationship. We have the deepest, most advanced defence relationship in the world. Our warriors train together and they fight together. Our industries build together, everything from fast jets to the new AUKUS-class submarines. So now, as we drive up defence spending, we're going to sweep away the barriers to working together on new defence technologies so we can stay ahead of our adversaries. We're united in defence and security, yes, absolutely. But we're also united in the pursuit of peace. We are working together to end the humanitarian catastrophe in the Middle East, get the aid in, free the hostages, and ultimately bring Israel and the region back towards a comprehensive plan which can deliver peace and security for Israelis and Palestinians alike. We're also working together to end the killing in Ukraine. In recent days, Putin has shown his true face, mounting the biggest attacks since the invasion began, with yet more bloodshed, yet more innocents killed, and unprecedented violations of NATO airspace. These are not the actions of someone who wants peace. So we've discussed today how we can build our defences further, support Ukraine, and decisively increase the pressure on Putin to get him to agree a peace deal that will last. And President Trump, you have led the way here, and we will continue to stand and work together for security and for peace. Mr. President, next year we'll celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States. We've come on a long journey together since 1776. But it's no exaggeration to say that the partnership our two nations have built has shaped the world from the beaches of Normandy to the founding of NATO, to the creation of technologies that have revolutionized our lives. Time and time again, it is British and American men and women side by side, changing the path of history and turning it towards our values, towards freedom, democracy, and the rule of law. In Britain, we take huge pride in that. And let's be clear, this relationship is not just about history, it's about the future. It's about the benefits it delivers now and for decades to come, to make our people safer and better off. We've shown today that we're delivering those benefits, improving people's lives. So we will go into that anniversary year more optimistic than ever and more confident than ever about our two great nations and what they can achieve side by side. Thank you. And it is now my pleasure to give the floor to Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you very much, very much. Prime Minister Starmer, Melania and I are tremendously thankful for the wonderful hospitality that you and Lady Starmer have extended today at Chequers. Quite the place, I must say, quite the place. And we're grateful beyond words for the spectacular honor of the state visit yesterday at Windsor Castle, hosted by His Majesty King Charles III and Her Majesty Queen Camilla. These are two fantastic people. We will never forget it. As I said last night, the bond between our countries is like no other anywhere in the world. The United States and the United Kingdom have done more good on this planet than any two nations in human history. That is thanks in large part to the traditions of British liberty, which grew up on these isles, these beautiful, magnificent isles, and were carried by our ancestors to the New World. We're forever joined, and we are forever friends, and we will always be friends. This enduring connection is why I was thrilled that the United Kingdom was the very first country with which we made a historic trade deal, and a very good trade deal. He's a tough negotiator. I think it was a better deal for you than us, but these are minor details.
It's a very good deal for both of us.
He's a great negotiator. We will extend our unparalleled security alliance into the realm of economic security for the first time, and I look forward to finalizing it very soon. We'll have it done very quickly. We have also just signed a historic technology prosperity deal, one of a kind, to ensure our countries lead the next great technological revolution side by side. In fact, we just left the business leaders, the biggest in the world. Some are in this room right now. And that was quite a meeting we had on business and trade and technology. This trip has galvanized $350 billion in deals across many sectors, and we're committed to ensuring that the UK has a secure and reliable supply of the best AI hardware and software on Earth. And we supply that, and we'll make sure we supply it in quantity to the UK. And we also are joining forces on quantum computing and nuclear power, a natural partnership for close allies. The United States, as you probably have heard, is doing better than it has ever done in terms of business and investment. The stock market has hit a new high, as you know, and that's for many, many days out of our fairly short 8 months. And we seem to be hitting new highs, and I think we're going to do much better even as time goes by. Jobs are at a record, and most importantly, we have more than $17 trillion, $17 trillion, and this is during an 8-month period being invested in the country, which is not only a record, but if you compare $17 trillion to the last year of the Biden administration, they did $250 billion. They didn't do $1 trillion for the 4-year period. We did $17 trillion of investment coming in. A lot of it's because of tariffs, and a lot of it's for a lot of other reasons, but there's never been anything like it. It's an economic superstar. That's what's become. It was mismanaged and badly handled for a long period of time, but it's not badly handled anymore. So that's a record. And remember, that's up until 8 months. We have another few months to go, and that number is going to get significantly higher, especially if we win a certain case that we're waiting to hear. That will be something like the world has never seen. I want to congratulate the United Kingdom on making the vital commitment to spend 5% of GDP on defense at the NATO summit this year. We've worked together very closely in so many ways. I'm very honored to tell you that we've solved 7 wars, wars that were unsolvable, wars that couldn't be negotiated or done. The U.S. has done 7 of them. The one that I thought would be easiest would be because of my relationship with President Putin, but he's let me down. He's really let me down. It was going to be Russia and Ukraine, but we'll see how that turns out. But that turned out to be, I thought it might be among the easiest of the group, but we had settled just about every conflict, and as you know, we're working very hard on Israel and Gaza. All that's happening over there. Complex, but it's going to get done. It'll all get done right. And likewise, Russia and Ukraine will get done. But you never know in war. You know, war is a different thing. Things happen that are very opposite of what you thought. You thought you were going to have an easy time or a hard time, and it turns out to be the reverse. As we saw in the unforgettable parade yesterday at Windsor Castle, what a place it is. The British Armed Forces carry on one of the finest military traditions in the world, one of the greatest marching bands, one of the most magnificent sights I've seen. I know that our service members look forward, and we do look so forward, to working even more closely with yours as you push toward that 5% goal. And I think, Mr. Prime Minister, you're just about there. You're going to be there very quickly, along with a lot of other great countries. I want to thank NATO and our wonderful head of NATO, who's really worked very hard, Mark, for the job they've done. As you know, NATO was at 2% GDP, and they didn't pay it. Now they're at 5%, then they pay it. And we appreciate that. And we're sending a lot of weapons to NATO. NATO's paying for those weapons in full. But we're sending them, and we're doing a great job at getting them what they need. And we appreciate the fact that they're taking care of it, because the United States is into that war for $350 billion. And just really very sad. It just got out of control. They didn't know what they were doing. But over the generations, British and American warriors have shed their blood side by side in defense of liberty and freedom. And that's why it's so imperative that the United States and the United Kingdom stand together for these fundamental rights and values of the English-speaking world. And we've always stood together, and we will continue to. Just last week, a great American, Charlie Kirk, was heinously assassinated for speaking his mind. He was a great young man, incredible future. Some people said he might be president someday. I told him, I said, Charlie, I think you have a good shot someday at being president. And he just wanted to take care of youth. He loved youth. I've never seen anybody relate to youth like Charlie, and they related to him, and they're devastated. But I appreciate the many British citizens who have offered their condolences. And again, Charlie was a great person. We'll be going out to a service on Sunday. I'll be leaving with some of the people in this room just to celebrate Charlie and all that he's done. So incredible. Never seen anything like it. But I hope that together our nations can lead a movement to defend the glorious traditions of freedom on both sides of the Atlantic. There could be no greater tribute to the immortal bonds of affection and loyalty that unite the British and the American people for all of time. We have a relationship like no other. It will always be that way. We will always be united. We'll always be together. And I just want to thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, for the great job I think you're doing. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We're going to take some questions. I'll call 2 or 3 to start with, and then I'll pass over to the President. I've got Chris Mason from the BBC first. Chris.
Thank you both. Chris Mason, BBC News. Mr. President, the UK is expected to recognise a Palestinian state in the coming days as the killing in Gaza continues. It often seems that you're the only person that Israel will listen to. What more can you say to them to tell them to stop? And why is the UK's position on a Palestinian state, in your view, wrong? And Prime Minister, what will the recognition of a Palestinian state actually achieve? Is it not just gesture politics to appease people in your own party? Thank you both.
Well, Chris, let me just start with that, because we discussed this amongst other things. We had the best part of an hour, I think, upstairs earlier today, just one-to-one, going through a number of affairs, world affairs, in private. And we absolutely agree on the need for peace and a roadmap, because the situation in Gaza is intolerable. The hostages have been held for a very, very long time, and they must be freed. And we need aid to get into Gaza at speed. And so it's within that context of a plan for peace, which we're working hard on, which not only did we discuss this morning, but our two teams have been working together on, that the question of recognition needs to be seen. And so it's part of that overall package which hopefully takes us from the appalling situation we're in now to the outcome of a safe and secure Israel, which we do not have, and a viable Palestinian state. Thank you.
Well, simply, I want the hostages released now, right now, not 1, 2, we'll give you 3 more tomorrow, and, you know, like it's been, but we're the ones that got all the hostages released. We got many, many came to the Oval Office, and I've heard stories like I've never thought even possible. There was no humanity, no anything. I said to them, I said, was there any warmth shown during this stay? Like they offered you a little extra meal, they gave you a little smile, and they said, don't worry, you'll be okay. And every one of them said, not even a little bit. Amazing, you know, to think that during this stay, long stay in some cases. We had a man the other day, 451 days he was there. I always ask that question. And was there any warmth shown? Just a little word of, you know, encouragement. And the answer is every time, absolutely not. I'm shocked to hear it, because in the worst cases, there's always somebody that comes through. We have to remember October 7th, one of the worst, most violent days in the history of the world, not just there, the history of the world. And I got to see the tapes, and I wish I didn't see them, actually, but I got to see them. And I want an end. I want the hostages released, and I think it's going to be okay. But it has been a brutal period of time. But this has been going on for a long time. This is not something that's over the last year, 2 years, but this has been for decades and decades. But we want it to end. We have to have the hostages back immediately. That's what the people of Israel want. They want them back. And we want the fighting to stop, and it's going to stop. But a lot of bad things. You know, Hamas said that they're going to put the hostages up as bait. They're going to put the hostages in front of any attack. And that's pretty brutal. We haven't heard that one in a long time. So we have to remember that. So I have a disagreement with the Prime Minister on that score. Okay? One of our few disagreements, actually.
Great. Can I take Jack from The Sun? Jack.
Thank you both. Jack Elson from The Sun. Mr. President, in the 9 months you've been in office, you've been incredibly successful in all but eliminating crossings on your southern border.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, illegal migration is at record levels in Britain. The Prime Minister is trying to tackle that. What advice would you give to the man standing next to you on trying to stop illegal migration in Britain? And Prime Minister, if I can just ask, the President is all about drill, baby, drill in terms of trying to secure American energy and cut bills for Americans. Meanwhile, you are turning Britain's back on oil and gas in favour of renewable energies, such as wind turbines. Why do you think that you are right and he is wrong?
So we had millions of people flowing in, totally unchecked, totally unvetted from the Biden administration. 25 million, in my opinion, that would be about 25 million. They came from prisons, they came from mental institutions, they were gang members, they were drug dealers. They came from the Congo. They came from all parts of South America. They came from everywhere. Think of it, prisons from the Congo being released into the United States, prisons opened up in Venezuela and many other countries pouring into the United States. And I couldn't believe it. One of the reasons I decided to run. I decided to run because I don't want to be controversial, but you see what's happened and you see all the information that's come out. We won in 2020 big. And I said, let's run, we got to run, because I saw what was happening. And the worst thing that I saw was all of these people. You know, we've already solved inflation. We've solved prices. Oil is way down. Energy is way down in the United States. But what I saw happening with millions of people pouring into our country, I couldn't stand to watch it. And we've done a great job. Nobody, if you've seen the last, I appreciate your question, by the way. Nobody, absolutely zero, and I'm not even sure that's possible, but it's a very liberal group that come out with those statistics. The last 3 months, we had zero. From millions of people a year ago, we had zero people enter our country illegally. And we do have people coming in legally through a legal process and testing and lots of other things. I think it's very important, and we speak about it, and I think your situation is very similar. You know, you have people coming in, and I told the Prime Minister I would stop it, and it doesn't matter if you call out the military, it doesn't matter what means you use, but it's going to destroys countries from within, and we're actually now removing a lot of the people that came into our country. It's a very hard chore. We were given a very, very bad hand. Millions of people came in from prisons and mental institutions. We have to remove them. And we are removing them. We have no choice, and I feel very strongly about it. Thank you very much.
Jack, let me just deal with the question of returns, because this is obviously an issue we're taking incredibly seriously. We've struck a number of deals both on cooperation with other countries, because this is a problem right across Europe, to tackle the problem of actually breaking up the gangs that are running this trade. We have had a record number of returns, over 35,000 now since we came into office. That's the highest number for the best part of 10 years. We struck the returns arrangement with France, and notwithstanding the challenges to that scheme, which you've seen in the last few days, a flight went off at 6:15 this morning, successfully returning someone under that scheme. So that is an important step forward. Obviously, there's no silver bullet here. There's a range of things that need to be done. But given the challenges of returning people, it is important that we're able to prove it can be done. It was done. It was done early this morning. So I can confirm that that flight went. It went successfully. And I'm pleased about that. Now we need to ramp that up at scale, which was always envisaged under the scheme, but it's very important that we have been able to prove that the proof of concept, if you like, that this can be done, and will continue in that way. On the question of energy, firstly, let me be really clear that I am absolutely determined to ensure that the price and cost of energy comes down, so that bills come down both for individuals, for families, with their household bills, but also for business, because this is so important. The mix will include oil and gas for many years to come from the North Sea. We've been clear about that for some time, but we also need to mix that with renewables, and it's the mix that's really important. And the approach I've taken on this is the same approach that I take to many other things, a pragmatic approach. Thank you, Jack.
I would like to say that we inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country. We had inflation, the likes of which we've really never seen. They say 48 years, and I'll accept that, but I really don't. We had the worst inflation in the history of our country. And we had a expression that I used a lot, drill, baby, drill. And as you know, we brought fuel way down, the prices way down. And we don't do wind, because wind is a disaster. It's a very expensive joke, frankly. And we got our energy prices way down. That brought the inflation way down, and now we have very little inflation, and we have a very, very strong economy. So that was very important. Drill, baby, drill. And you have a great asset here, and we spoke